How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today we are going to be taking a look at which production facility is the most profitable again, but we're going to be doing it with a little bit of a twist. In the first video, we looked at how much profit you can make if you have the facility running for the entire year. And if you haven't checked that video out yet, I'm going to go ahead and link it up above. But in this video, we're going to do things a little bit differently. What we're going to do is we're going to take a field that's 1 hectare in size. We're going to put all the different crops into it, and then we're going to see how much money we can actually make with those facilities using those crops. And let me start off by showing you this chart right here. Now this has all the different crops that we are going to be looking at today. We're going to look at wheat, barley, oats, sorghum, canola, sunflower, olives, grapes, sugar beet cut, sugarcane, cotton, and corn. And we're not going to be looking at poplars or regular timber right now because, it's so inconsistent on how densely populated a hectare is going to be of those products. So we're just not going to look at those right now. We're going to look at those at a later time. And in the second column, you can see right here, this is going to be the yield per hectare. Now, we've looked at this in other videos also, but I wanted to reiterate it right here. Now, you can see that we do have production output and production output units. We don't have anything in these columns right now, but that's going to come into play here once we start putting these crops into production facilities. You can see that we have the average sell price. We also have the estimated peak sell price. And that is in another video that we looked at with the different sell prices. And that takes into account the XML economy factor for each one of these crops. It is different from crop to crop. And if you're interested in exactly what that is, we do have the video over there. Go ahead and go check that one out. It's in the playlists. Next, we have the profit range. As you can see, we have the average and the peak. Those go along with the average sell price and the estimated peak sell price. And how you get that is you take the yield and you multiply that by your average sell price. So the next column here, this is going to say stages, and this is going to get added to a little bit more. Right now, you're just selling the crops as they are. Let me go ahead and show you this next chart right here. So I'm going to go ahead and stay on wheat all the way across this just to show you how this chart works, and then we will come back and show you all the other facilities. So as you can see for wheat, we have a production output now of flour, and then production output units is 14,240. How did we get that? We took the recipe for your wheat going in and your flour coming out, and that's how we got 14,240. We also have the average sell price, the estimated peak sell price, and the average and peak for your profit range. So next you can see this is the stages. We now have wheat and then flour. This is the difference in the two different processes that we did. The first one is just wheat by itself, and you're getting anywhere from $10,805 to $13,065. Now these are just estimates, averages right in here. Also, this is not a guarantee. Then if you look at the wheat and flour process, you can see that you're going to get anywhere from $14,610 all the way up to $17,672. So it is more profitable to be able to go ahead and put your wheat into the grain mill and be able to get flour out of it. You can make more money on it, and this is per hectare right here. Now this chart really gets interesting as I start to show you a bunch more of the crops that you can do. So let's go ahead and show you barley, oats, and sorghum next. So as you can see, all the way across, we've got all the different values. We've got flour. We've even got cereal that you can turn oats into. Now, cereal is an interesting one because it requires a bunch of other ingredients also. There's like 5 different things that you need instead of just one item. So the profit on that, as you can see in the last column, is anywhere from $48,000 all the way up to $54,000. But it does require a bunch of other stuff. It takes a little bit more work, but you do get a lot more return on it. Now, that price is also just going to be the profit on the oats itself. And this is just taking a look at 1 hectare of a crop. So if you've got a hectare of oats that you want to harvest, and then you want to do something with it, if you sell it, you're going to make anywhere between $10,921 all the way up to $13,213. But if you want to put it into flour, you can make $14,815 all the way up to $17,920. But if you want to put it into cereal and you also have all the extra ingredients, you can make just on that oats by itself, your profit is going to be anywhere from $48,222 all the way up to $54,013. Now, it might be a little bit complicated, but that is just the profit on that oats by itself. So if you've got eggs, right, you're going to have a separate profit margin on those eggs. If you've got corn, you're going to have a separate thing just on the corn. If you've got raisins, you're gonna have a separate thing just on that, and you can see those other ingredients on this list as well. Now we don't have eggs on here, but all the other crops that we have on this list, you can see how much you're gonna make on just 1 hectare of those crops. Now, this does not factor in how long it takes you to be able to make the money on these items. This only looks at just the 1 hectare area of that crop, how much money potentially you could make on that crop. So if you go down this list and you look at crops that only have 1 processed onto them, the first one that stands out to me is sugarcane into sugar. That has a potential of anywhere from $102,000 all the way up to $107,000. And that may take a while because there is a lot of sugarcane yield that you get from 1 hectare. I mean, it's up around 227,000 liters almost. So it is going to take quite a while to be able to process all of that sugarcane into your sugar, but it is going to give you an incredible amount of profit. Another crop that really stands out to me right now is going to be your grapes into raisins. You can see right here, if you do that process, it's going to be anywhere from $46,368 all the way up to $51,465. That's just for 1 process. And the reason is because it's a 1-to-1 ratio on that. It's really, really awesome. I mean, it's almost on par with your sugar beet into sugar, which is $52,020 all the way up to $54,621. I've also got corn silage on here because I also wanted to look at, that is an option for corn, and it's going to be anywhere from $44,229 all the way up to $49,111. Now, I know it's not going into a production facility, but it is something that you can do with that crop. You can sell it as silage just like you could sell it if you harvested it as corn. So I wanted to make sure to add that in here just to have a fair comparison on that crop. And the last chart here, this one goes into extreme detail. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with wheat. And as you can see, we've actually added another row here. And this one here is going to be for cakes. Cakes takes a lot of ingredients, and that's why it's got 2 asterisks next to it. And you're going to be able to get anywhere from $211,464 all the way up to $230,510. Now, this is just the profit on that 1 hectare of wheat. So if you had 17,800 liters of wheat and you process it into flour and then you process that into cakes, you're going to be able to make profit just on that wheat volume alone. It's going to be all the way up to $230,510 potentially. That is insane. So is it worth owning the grain mill and the bakery to be able to make those items? Absolutely. I strongly feel like it. And the reason I feel like that is because that's almost 20 times the profit you're going to be able to make instead of just selling this off by itself as grain. And the one item on this list that absolutely blows my mind is going to be sugarcane into cakes. Now, once again, this does take a lot of other ingredients, but if you have those ingredients and if you have a field that's 1 hectare in size and you want to make the absolute most money that you can, I would put sugarcane in it. I know it takes a while to harvest, but you can store this product and then you can take it over to your sugar mill and process it. And then you can take that product and then just have it delivered over to your bakery, and then it can just start making cakes for you. A lot of these processes, all you have to do is be able to set all of your factories on to distributing. And once you set those on distributing, you're going to get the same amount of product going into that next facility that you just produced in your first facility. And then at your last one, that's whenever you can take the pallets and you can sell them as you wish, to the highest seller for full price at that time. And the reason I would do the sugarcane is because if you make cakes with it, you can make all the way up to potentially $1,835,663. Now, that is the value of the sugarcane if you take it and you turn it into sugar and then you put it into cakes. That's not total profit on the cakes. You're going to get a lot more than that, but that is only the profit on the volume of the original crop, the sugarcane itself. I know this chart may be a little bit confusing, and if it is, definitely reach out to me over on Discord or here in the comments below, and I'll try and help you understand it just a little bit better. The easiest thing to remember is that the value that you see at the very end is going to be the potential on the amount of yield that you see in the second column where it says yield per hectare. You can take that volume right there, and depending on what you do with it, whether you sell it, whether you process it 1 time, whether you process it 2 times, that is the amount of money that you could see on that volume. Well, that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you would. If you want to stay up to date on all my future videos, consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you do, hit the notification bell too. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Till next time, this is Driver 53, signing off.